Welcome to the Penny Bloom Podcast. Ain't another place that has got more bombast. Romp past your mom, dad's listening to Tomcats. Talking everything that make you sad. We don't want that. We're here to make you smile. Put your mind at ease. Peace, love, and bloom, and always praise Keanu Reeves. This what we about. This some weeding now. We'll talk until we can't no more, and then we peacing out. Alright, let's go. Penny Bloom Podcast. It's the Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. It's the Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome in to the Penny Bloom Podcast. This is the Andor Afterparty, and we are fresh off Andor, so it's time to party. I am Colton Robertson. I am joined by Joseph George. What's up, homie?
Oh, what up, what up? Always a pleasure to be here, and boy, am I happy to be here today.
Oh, man, new Star Wars, baby! New Star Wars!
Always a good day. Always a good day.
Dude, I turned it on this morning. I had my cup of coffee. And every time a new Star Wars thing comes, I'm always like, man, is this the time where I am like kind of fatigued? Is my excitement going to go downhill because I get so much Star Wars all the time now? And I can confidently say the answer is no. Because this shit kicked off and like, I don't know, I've almost got tears in my eyes. I'm fucking ready for Star Wars again, baby. And like I've been doing a lot of pre-reading, you know. I read the Rogue One novelization. I read Catalyst. So like I was getting in the mindset for Andor, and then this came on and I was like, fuck yeah. It's fucking time, baby. And we're doing it a little different than we would usually do it, since it is a 3-episode premiere. We are yet to watch episodes 2 and 3. We're doing this episode by episode. We got all day today. We're watching 1, hopping into the studio, recording on it, watching 2, hopping in the studio, recording on it, watching 3, hopping into the studio and recording on it.
I feel like this will work out very well, because I remember for Obi-Wan, whenever we had the first 2 episodes, whenever we were all talking about it, we were all focusing on like the end, or like the episode 2 mainly. Like we really didn't focus on a whole lot of episode 1 stuff. So I'm glad that this way we can give each episode their fair shake and just look at, I don't know, each one individually.
In a vacuum, you know, and I think that's important. And by the time we get to episode 3, we'll be able to reflect on the whole thing and kind of go, this was a great 3-episode premiere. So, I'm going to do this scene by scene, like we want to do when it comes to Star Wars. And I'm so fucking ready. Are you ready?
Let's get into it. Do it.
Let's get it done. So, episode 1 of Andor, kicking off in the pouring rain in the middle of the night. And we see Kassa and Andor all cloaked up, showing up at a nightclub. Very beautiful looking, straight off the rip. Like, this was gorgeous.
The camera just showing the little lights, you know, going by. Like, I'm like, what? You know, what is this? And then it's just a walkway. You know, it's just him walking. It's cool. And then the whole him walking through the city with the spherical like showcases of the people. Like, I don't know. He went to like a brothel, but I didn't know if like before that was sort of the same thing. Like, were those people in those spheres? I don't know. I was trying to figure out what the purpose of them was, because I didn't think like the whole district was like a brothel. No way.
No,
right?
It's not, because they're not supposed to, like it said later, they're not supposed to have these. Like, this is an underground sort of thing. But yeah, I couldn't tell. Like, I was thinking maybe it was like kind of putting on display what they might offer, but like you don't really want to put what you have to offer on display if it's illegal. So like,
I don't know. I guess it's just Star Wars. It could just be like that's their way of advertising clothes. You see a person actually wearing it in a bubble, and they get paid just to sit there and model it. I don't know.
Hopefully they get paid. This is an Imperial occupied.
True. Yeah, I'm giving them too much credit.
Corporation, but yeah. So regardless, Cassian pulls on up to this club. I was like, "Whoo, we got Diego Luna back. We got him back, baby. This is fucking great."
I'm glad it opened with him. Like, I'm glad it wasn't just like some off story first and then like get into him. I don't know. I was just glad it was like, all right, we're getting it rolling, and we're getting.
They got it rolling good. because he pulls up to this nightclub. It's his first time, as he's asked by the Maiden, our Maeve type character for this club, and there are a couple Imperial corporate guards over there kicking a fuss. Whenever Cassian is seen before them, they're like, "Hey, I was here before him. What the fuck?" These guys were pussies. I hated them. Just like immediately. And, it was very quick that I was like, man, that's too bad. that's too bad for them.
I mean, they off rip whenever they're already annoying. I mean, they're likely going to die here, like that. I was already in the mindset of like, all right, so is it a bar fight? Is it happening like now or when?
Well, and instantly what I love about this is that we've got a whole other character compared to, what we typically see whenever someone's a dick to our protagonist in a TV show. We're used to the Mandalorian. The Mandalorian has no moral indignation towards, you know what? Fuck it. Yeah, let's do this shit right now. This is the Mandalorian walking up in here. He fights immediately. There's no doubt. Andor has to be a little bit more tactical about it because he's not overpowering, because he's not an uber badass. He just has to play it smart. And I think that's fucking awesome in terms of a difference between the TV shows we're getting here. But yeah, he asked this maiden if there's a girl from Kenari here. Apparently she was working there a few months back. And she's like, yeah, there was a girl from Kenari, but she's long gone now, and she disappeared. It's been a while. Nobody gives their real name here. And I was interested by that.
That no one gives their real name, or that?
Well, I was interested that he had to ask what her name was.
I kind of was thinking of that too. Like, has it just? There's no way he forgets his sister's name.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that like I don't know if it was more like what is she going by these days, because his name was Kassa back at the tribe, and he's Cassian now. So I think he was kind of hoping that maybe he could at least get the name that she's going by these days.
I feel like he would have been like, yeah, I know, just let me know what she went by, if that was, the purpose. But I guess the lady was very like, I'm sorry, like there's nothing I can do. Like there's she's gone. People come and go all the time. Like
there's no way for her to know this is her actual brother or anything. This could be just a real creep who's on the prowl, So she did the right thing.
True.
But yeah, Cassian gets nowhere with this line of questioning, so he goes ahead and leaves the club. However, he is followed by these two guards who are like, you know what? Fuck this guy. He got served before us. I don't like that he's not white. They follow him into an alley, and they hold him up looking to arrest him and stuff. And he's like, hey man, I got 300 credits in my coat pocket. And they're like, oh shit, that's like almost exactly what we need. How convenient for you. What are you up to, man? What the fuck going on? And Cassian's like, all right, man, it's in my other pocket, to one of the guys. Gives him a good old headbutt. The guy collapses. What a headbutt.
I was thinking, is the headbutt what killed him, or like a reflector of the blaster that went off eventually? Like they didn't show any wound or anything, but like, did Cassian really headbutt that dude hard enough to kill him? Like,
I think it's probably like, maybe it was like the headbutt and the fall.
Okay, fair. Yeah,
like maybe it wasn't
a good knockout and then bang on the ground. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what I was going with, but still, I would not like to be headbutted by Cassian Andor. I would like to not find out. But yeah, he beats this other dude down, steals his gun, holds the gun to his face, and this becomes a very, very intense and, we're really getting to the heart of the thing that Cassian Andor struggles with in Rogue One. Because this guy begs for his life, looks him in the eyes, begs him, hey man, we don't have to do this, we can go in together. He fell. And like, it's that though. We can go in together, bro. I know what that means. You ain't fucking with me.
Yeah, no. Like no. What he should have said is like,
You can
go. I'll forget everything that happened. That would have been his best chance. But like,
would have been his best chance. Yeah, I think Cassian still would have killed him. He doesn't take the chances, man. We learned that in Rogue One. The introductory scene of Cassian in Rogue One, where he gets information from an informant and then gives him one in the back because he can't climb out of there. He'll get caught by the Empire. He'll rat. Man, like that's what Cassian does, and he puts the gun to this guy's forehead, looks at him like this man made eye contact with this man as he killed him. I was like, oh, Cassian is that man, and he was distraught. Like he backed away, like, oh fuck. Yeah, I don't like doing that.
Like I needed to in this case, but he's like, I did not want to whatsoever. I mean, it's very like an opening scene, like for Star Wars, I'm kind of expecting more lighthearted, like I guess like it's not always lighthearted, but I'm not expecting just to see our main character execute a guy on the street, 10 minutes into the episode. It's just, I don't know. I really, it set the tone for this show, I think. And I obviously have no idea what's coming next in episode 2 or 3, but I like it. It seems more serious, this show. Seems more like, I don't know. I don't know how to.
We kick it off in a brothel.
True. Very non-kid friendly, I guess you could say, this episode. Well, just the beginning, really, though.
Well, and that's the thing, is that like it's not kid friendly though. Like I can tell that we haven't really gotten to the point in this show where it's incredibly hopeful yet, but I know that this is Star Wars and I know it will maintain that spirit. And as of right now, yeah, though, it is definitely a little darker than what we've come to know, especially this opening 10 minutes. The rest of the episode's relatively straightforward Star Wars the rest of the time, at least what we've gotten used to, I would say. I mean, like, it feels like Rogue One.
Yeah.
Like, that's...
I guess the Empire's not supposed to be the most fun thing in the galaxy, so it's supposed to be dark, and it's supposed to show what led Cassian to sacrifice his life eventually, so like, there's gonna be some dark stuff that happens here, I'm assuming. But character-wise, I just kind of want to get your gauge on. I don't think we've seen his sister yet whatsoever, but what's her name? Bix. Yeah, Bix. Is Bix the like tribe leader? Kind of like, you think like back in what's their planet?
Shoot, I can't remember.
That's gonna piss me off. They're like species, it starts with a V, I think, right?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Anyway, back on their home planet, whenever they were all like hunting and like getting all the stuff on them, whatever, like the main kind of girl.
Kenari. It was Kenari.
Okay. Not a V. But is Bix is that someone? It seems that Cassian has history with her, and I just don't know. Like, my immediate thought is Bix is not his sister, obviously. Like, there's no way that Bix is his sister, right? Like,
and he just has no idea. Yeah, no, I doubt it.
But I don't know. Am I like super in left field into thinking that it's also someone like Kenari?
I mean, it's a distinct possibility. Kenari, yeah, it's a possibility. I wouldn't dismiss it. However, I think Bix is going to be his tie into the rebellion. I think Bix is already loosely connected. And I mean that those things don't have to be mutually exclusive. They could both be true. It's just that was more the vibe I got from her, is that like when she's sending that like coded message wherever she is,
that was some rebellion shit. That was cool.
Some rebellion shit. I'm telling you, but
yellow racks in the back. You might have to dig for it. This is so like, I don't know. That's just sick.
The code and everything. It was baller. But yeah, so Cassian shoots this motherfucker, and then we cut, and I'm like, ooh, goddamn.
Is this where it went to the title card, or was that before?
That
That
was
was
at
like when the
that was at the
episode.
very
Yeah.
beginning, but
No, but
we
what
cut
a
to like a. I like that they're giving us like the planet name and like a time card, like it said BBY5, which is like I don't know that we've ever gotten an actual BBY appear on screen during Star Wars stuff. Like they're like, yeah, we're officially taking on that that timeline sort of thing.
Oh, has BBY ever been actual canon before?
Well, and that's the thing is that
Like,
like it's been used in
they've
like
been
books
saying,
and stuff,
yeah.
but like we've never seen it on screen because
Mm.
there's rarely a reason to use it on screen. I think it was just kind of like this is a prequel, BBY5. Like this is far before the Battle of Yavin, but yeah. Nevertheless, we moved to the Morlani system after this. A place called Ferrix, a free trade center, and a lowly red droid called B2 EMO, called I'm probably affectionately referred to as B2. Is
B2
probably going to be my guess, but this man B2 EMO.
EMO, but BMO, Wait, we already. I feel BMO. Oh, BMO is Adventure Time. I'm like, yeah,
You're
no,
like,
the
don't I
two.
know a BMO?
Yeah, no, the two has to be in there somewhere.
B2 EMO,
Yeah, like
B2
R2D.
EMO,
We say
B2
R2.
EMO, B2 EMO. His name. Oh,
Say B2. B2 rules. That's good. I like it. But
B2.
I
Yeah.
like the little stutter, the little
Oh, he's a
like
little
what an
cutie.
interesting. Yeah, like what a cool droid too. Like
Well, and I like there was something about this droid that just like immediately made me like fucking sad. Like the air of this droid
yeah.
was like just down in the dumps. I don't know why. I was just kind of like, oh, this poor little guy. I don't know.
He was just strolling and kind of looking around. He gets pissed on. It's like,
What
damn,
the
man.
fuck?
Like,
B2 don't deserve that shit.
man.
Yeah, I like B2. He's a little cutie. Yeah, but he moves on. Belongs to Cassian, who happens to be sleeping and hiding out, and he knows that he is almost certainly wanted in a serious way because of what happened last night. And he's desperate to make sure his cover story is in order, and part of that comes from visiting his friend Brasso down at the workers' union, and I like Brasso. This dude's a pimp.
Yeah, he's a G. He's like he knew immediately. He's like, all right, I'm already gonna do whatever you're gonna want me to do.
He's like, hey man, I like the story so far, but you got a scar on your face. I need to clean that up a little bit. So yeah, you didn't like my choice of drink. You got up, you stumbled, you fell. I took you to bed. Like, I loved that shit. Brasso was a real one. And I like that he's got people who are looking out for him, I think that's nice. I'm already on the lookout.
Time. Yeah, he's been doing this for quite some time, it seems. This
well, that's
not
what's
his
interesting.
First rodeo.
Is that like I obviously don't take it that he's rebellion tied yet.
Mm-mm. I don't think so. I think
he's just on he's searching for his sister.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of he's every man for himself sort of thing. I'm looking for my sister. I'm gonna do anything I can do. Maybe there is some, like, he already hates who knows why his sister and him are separated, I guess, in the first place. If it is
feeling that whatever crashed down on Kenari, a tribe planet that seemingly was not super technologically advanced, the Empire probably had their way with their resources.
Yeah.
Would be my guess.
But I guess she would have somehow escaped herself too if she was at this brothel at some point. She's been living on her own, finding her own way, and whether it's her running from the Empire and trying to scrap together anything she can while she's on the run.
Right.
But yeah, it is. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. Like, I like the back and forth that we're getting right now of like Cassian, and then go back to his childhood, give a little more, little tidbits more.
Yeah, because we don't get very far with the young Cassian stuff at all in this episode. It is mostly in the quote unquote present day, the BBY5 timeline. But yeah, meanwhile, there's news of the squad commander's death reaching a Deputy Inspector Cyril Karn is this character's name, and Chief Hine, who's like, all right, so these dudes are dead. Looks like these dudes were some dumbasses. Like, and this dude's kind of got it right, you know?
He's, as for cops go, like, I automatically hate the other dude.
Deputy Inspector Cyril Karn.
Narc.
Fuck that guy.
What a narc. This dude is Empire to the max.
His last name is Karn, and if you move the N and the K, guess what it means? What it says? Narc.
Oh, there's no way that was not done on purpose. Like,
it had to have been.
Oh, that's beautiful. But yeah, fuck this dude immediately. But the chief guy, he's actually pretty chill.
He's got an Empire's ass to kiss. He's trying. Yeah. Well, that's what it seems like he's trying to do, is keep the Empire away from their sector as much as he possibly can.
I think he knows. He's like, I think he kind of hates the Empire a little bit. He's like, all right, whatever, they're giving us protection, blah, whatever people like the Empire for. But he's also like, man, I really hate to deal with them. Like, if the smallest amount of interaction we can have with them, the better. And did he say the better for the people on the planet, or what did he just say, like, better for us and better for
better people? And that's the other thing, better for the business they're running. Okay. So it's kind of like it's still less about the people, more about profit, but still I do appreciate that he's not looking to prosecute Cassian in any way. He's uninterested. So I'll take it. But
he almost got it spot on. I mean, he did get it pretty spot on. I mean, he's like, they angered the wrong person, and look what happened to him. Like, yeah. Well, I mean, this dude, he's been around. He looks like he's seen a thing or two.
True.
But I wonder, like, the report that he's going off to, if we'll eventually see that, and if there's anyone in, I don't know, Empire-wise that we could see that's there. If we even see his meeting at all. I don't know, the actor, his voice initially when I first heard it, I thought it was the narrator's voice for the animated shows. It sounded so similar. Yeah, it sounded so similar, off rip.
Let me blow your mind right quick.
Oh shit.
This is he's in Game of Thrones. His name is Royce. We've recently met in House of the Dragon, Rhea Royce, and so he's a descendant of them. He's the one who trains the pussy ass kid up at the Vale, who kind of he brings the army of the Vale to the Battle of the Bastards and stuff. The big old guy with the hair that ties below his chin. Yeah, he's his name's Rupert Vansittart.
Rupert
Vansittart. Played Jon Royce in Game of Thrones for about 5 years. I was like, yeah. I recognized that guy very quickly. I knew he looked familiar. I didn't find that out until literally just now. But
he isn't that guy, right? Because there's a guy on IMDb who is the commissioner in Batman, Alex Ferns. He's the commissioner who gets the rats, eaten on him. Is that this guy, or is that
No, that'll be a different guy.
Okay, I didn't know.
And I think that's somebody we haven't seen yet.
Okay, that's what I thought, because I'm like, he doesn't really look like him at all. But I didn't know if just the mustache. I don't know, because I've only seen him with the commissioner guy, at least with the full beard.
Right.
But I didn't know if it was the same guy. I didn't think so, though. Okay, good to clear up though.
But yeah, so Chief Hine's not very interested in this crime at all, and he's like, it's just some wacky misadventure our guys got into. Let's make it out as a, nothing too sad, but a noble, inspirational death that they led, and fuck it, man, we'll move on.
Nothing too good, he's like, nothing too good, but, we don't need to
we don't want him to look heroic, but Yeah, so he asks his subordinate to make a suitable excuse for their deaths, and he's making sure it's outside the leisure zone, and he says they were killed at a brothel while on the job, which is a sackable offense unto itself. They died being helpful. Something sad but inspiring. Given there's a review of crime rates coming up, this should be swept under the rug. So a review of crime rates is the thing he's going to for the Empire. And if the crime rate is going up, the Empire has a heavier presence on your planet. So, makes sense. Makes sense that this is what he would want. But this narc guy, not convinced. He's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna go harder then. Fuck it, we ball. And he's searching through the records, checking the logs to see anything untoward, and he notices a strange ship leaving through a checkpoint and decides to look deeper into that. And as a result, people asking for information from anyone who may be aware of any Canary mail on Ferrix is distributed out to the system. So,
this was, I don't know if I haven't noticed it before, but this little computer, like, searching through the ship sort of thing was, like, really cool to see. Like, it wasn't just an actual computer screen where they were showing,
right.
whatever. It was, like, just the very old style Star Wars, like, I don't know, war maps, sort of thing like that we saw in the war rooms, but it was just little, I don't know, it was really cool just to see, like, how it actually,
they're like
it
radar
working this time.
shit.
Yeah, like, it was actually, like, fully working, and we saw, like, the whole process of it. It was just really cool to see.
The way he keyed in on a certain ship, and you're like, oh, those are all ships. Like, oh, that, like, you finally get a sense for what everything you're actually seeing is, which is very, very cool. But Cassian next shows up to see a mechanic named Bix, who I'm already very in on. Love Bix already. This is, if we're assigning, like, favorite characters or anything from this episode, I think I'm going Bix. I do like Bix quite a bit, and Cassian's desperate to offload something valuable. Asking about her secret buyer. This guy nobody knows. She's providing equipment to somebody who is trying to buy it on the low key. At this time, there is a very notable group who is trying to stock up resources that is trying to hide away from the Empire. It is the Rebellion. So, like, I have the feeling that maybe her buyer guy is definitely Rebellion connected. Like, I could see that for sure.
You think it's anyone we know? Or just some...
Nah, I doubt it. I bet it'll just be some Rebellion guy. Maybe it's like, that's the thing, is that, like, the Stellan Skarsgård character came to mind. Like, maybe it was him. The upcoming... He's a new character. We haven't seen him before. But we've seen him in, like, previews and stuff.
Okay.
I thought about him, but he also, like, lives on Coruscant. He's definitely, like, high-level Rebellion. I don't think he's just going off buying things from mechanics on random planets. You know what I'm saying? Like, But that was the first thing that came to mind. I don't think we'll recognize whoever the buyer might be, but I do think they'll be connected. I do. And he's looking to unload a NS9 Starpath unit, and he needs the credit so that he can get out and lay low. And Bix is like, nah, man, come on now. I don't know about all that. I got shit to do. I gotta get more stuff to bulk up on, and then I can call him. He's like, I do not have the time. I need to get the fuck out of here. I murdered men last night.
Yeah, we can get by the end of the month. Yeah, it's all good. He's like, maybe like today,
tomorrow,
even like as soon as possible. I don't know why he didn't, like. Does he not? I guess he can't really give out any details of what happened, because the more people know, the more that he can, get figured out. Whatever. But like, this seems like someone that he trusts, at least.
Right. Yeah, I do think he trusts Bix.
But I don't know. I don't know why he didn't just like. Yeah, like I'm in some big trouble. Like he could have just been like, I fucked up. Like I really need to get out of here. Like it's bad, But right. He was kind of just beating around the bush, sort of a little bit. But
like, I need to get the fuck out of here a little bit. So whenever you find the time, just go ahead and hook me up. Preferably like tonight, but I mean, if it's tomorrow, that's cool too. But beyond that, I don't know, man. And and Bix is like, all right, man, I guess I'll organize a meet with my contact. We'll figure it out. But thing is that Cassian, not only did he murder a couple dudes last night, he owes a lot of people a lot of money, including love that shit. I loved that, including a dude named Nurchi, and Nurchi was kind of cool. I like Nurchi too, and he brought his muscle man Vetch. Nurchi and Vetch.
Vetch is just a big teddy bear, you know.
I love Vetch.
I'm not going to call him my favorite character of the episode, but I don't know, it was the only part of the episode that I actually kind of like. It got me to chuckle a little bit, you know.
I wanted to hug Vetch.
Yeah, he just seemed. I was just told to stand here.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, you keep doing that. All right.
I don't even know what's going on, man. Yeah, Cassian talks his way out of the trouble here, and Cassian's a smooth motherfucker, you know. This is the kind of shit that makes you go, a little bit of a Han Solo vibe to Cassian, you know. Owes a lot of people a lot of money, can sweet talk his way out of things. Very smooth, you know, like whenever he goes and meets with Bix and he comes face to face with that one guy who is definitely going to rat to the Empire at some point.
Yep.
And he's like, seems like that's happening an awful lot more every time you come around here. She's a little bit stressed. And he's like, hey, man, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? You should have found a less complicated woman. I'm going to get the fuck out of here. Bye.
I kind of was hoping that this dude would, like, I was like, okay, maybe he's on the side of the rebellion, you know? Like, he's dating Bix, you know? So, like, and she's very rebellion-esque. So I'm like, okay, maybe this dude's all good. But then he's like, I gotta go run some errands, and he, like, runs after her, and I'm like, all right, this dude's snitching. Like, this dude is...
That man will be a problem.
Yeah.
Sooner or later, he's gonna give us shit. But we cut back to a flashback when Cassian's asleep, being woke up by B2, and we see a ship crash landing in the heart of Kenari, and the native tribes there are like in awe of everything that's happening, and therein they symbolically mark their face and arms with black, gear up, and head out into the forest. And I think that's pretty much it that happened in this episode, right? Like that, I think I covered everything.
I think, like, the detail of Cassian putting the same, like, facial marking, like, paintings on him as that one girl, like, that's what leads me to believe that Bix is that girl.
Gotcha.
Right there. Or that she will pop up somewhere else. Like, this is what makes me believe, like, it's either Cassian's inspiration for his, like, fighting spirit, and, like, this is what gets him to, you know, like, for his rebellion spirit, this is his first kind of spark, or it's, like, his first love. And, like, this is, I don't know if she has already gone, whatever, but... Right.
I'm ready for this storyline, because, like, we don't have a lot of, like, native tribe sort of representation in Star Wars. You know, the closest thing we've gotten is like Ewoks and the Tusken Raiders and stuff, the like tribal dances they were doing and stuff. This was the first time that I was like, finally a human tribe, you know what I'm saying? Like it only felt fitting, and I like that they are not technologically advanced. Like, they are going to be, their issue with the Empire is that the Empire is just so formidable.
They had no idea that what was happening was bad. You know, like, at least some of them. Like,
some of them were concerned. Others were like, whoa.
Like, when it exploded, they were, oh, that's so cool. Like, do you think they've ever seen an explosion before? Or a ship? And, like, you know? Like,
well, I mean, I get the impression that they knew what they were, like, they went out scavenging after this. Like, I think that's what they're about to do whenever they get all... So, like, it leads me to believe that maybe there have been ships that have crash landed here or came down here, but not enough to, redesign their whole setup or anything. Like, they can utilize some of the things they've got going just on a minor scale at first, and then maybe one day it'll start to pile up if the Empire doesn't show up first, which I has the feeling it definitely will.
Yeah. Eesh. Yeah, it's gonna be rough because I already know that, like, I don't know if it'll show them dying or maybe they're all just gonna get captured or maybe, like, I really hope that, like, because these are all like kids. There's like no adults here. Like, it's gonna be. I just don't want it to happen, but I know it's going to happen. Like, I know the Empire. No, I guess. What would that ship? Because that ship, it wasn't an Empire's. Like, it wasn't anything.
No,
Empire.
not necessarily, but it was shot down, presumably.
But why would they be heading? I guess, like, where are the adults? Like,
good question.
Like, maybe,
they were all really young. Yeah.
Maybe they're just not like the kids. I don't know. Where? I guess I didn't really even think about that. Like, are there actual adults somewhere else? Like, are they the ones that go off planet and do things and come back eventually, or like,
that's a good question.
Is the whole
I hadn't even
planet
considered
very non-technologically advanced? Or I guess this is their
know.
tribe. Because it was all there wasn't a single adult there, was there? Like, these are max
pretty young kids.
Yeah, max like 18,
15, 16,
like maybe 18, like is what it's looking like right now. Yeah, like
interesting. I didn't even catch that. That's a good point. Yeah, I don't know, man. This was a great fucking start, and I'm ready for more of those flashbacks with young Kassa. I'm ready to see how, because it seems like Cassian's journey to try and find his sister might lead him to the rebellion. Maybe his sister's already there. That'd be cool. Maybe that's what leads him to the rebellion. Maybe his sister one day gets killed by the Empire, and that's what radicalizes him to a degree where he's willing to join up, That
makes sense? No. Never
mind.
What? No, I'm not even going to say it out loud because I just realized it does not make sense whatsoever with the timeline. Like, I'm like, wait a minute, could it be this person? Oh wait, yeah. Not at all.
Yeah, okay. I have the feeling we're going to get very few of those in this series. I think this will be really, really focused. I think it will be really, really singular. It's going to be. I think this is going to be a really strong character piece on Cassian, and I don't think we're going to have a lot of concern outside of that. I cannot wait to get to the founding of the rebellion stuff. I can't wait for Mon Mothma and Saw Gerrera, and I'm so ready for all of that. But this was such a fun place to start. It was such a great episode, and let me tell you, this looks beautiful. Like, comparing it to our most recent Star Wars show, Obi-Wan Kenobi, I don't know, man. It doesn't even really compare.
It kind of feels higher budget than Obi-Wan. Like, it feel like they focused more on this show than Obi-Wan, which in my mind, I would think it'd be flipped. Like, you have Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader and like huge characters in Obi-Wan, but like it feels like that this is the show that they're actually proud of. Like, that this is like they are releasing this show alongside Game of Thrones or House of Dragon and Lord of the Rings. Like, this is kind of Star Wars's
big,
like
exuberant. And that's the thing, though, is that like I do think that this does require to be a much grander story. It is much more galaxy implicating. It is rebellion. It is the founding of the rebellion. It is versus the Empire. It's not 1v1 Obi. And that's why I think that Kenobi was much more narrow vision as far as like we are just focused on Obi-Wan Kenobi and Leia here.
That's true, and I guess we knew what was going to happen, sort of, with that show. Like, we knew certain things couldn't happen with this.
Right,
But here
right.
we're like, all right, we know the end of Cassian, but we know, like, zero
Nothing before that.
So, um,
yeah, the one thing we know is that Cassian doesn't die.
Yeah. Which is good. I'm okay with that. You know, I think
I'm okay with that as well.
I'm okay with that.
Well, and I love that they know they have to do something great with this show because we do know how his story ends, you know? And I think it's closed-minded of people to go, oh, well, we know how his story ends. What's the point of even watching this? Nah, completely disagree. Like, tell me you wouldn't like a Jyn Erso spinoff where she's being raised by Saw in the Rebellion.
Oh, dude. Yeah, we like anything that, while I was watching this episode, it got me thinking that, like, in Star Wars, it's insane that they could pick one character and write an entire show about them. Like, you could pick the most random character and have an entire season of episodes dedicated for them. Like, whenever I watched Rogue One, I mean, like, he was a main character, Cassian, you know, I'm like, I'm fucking with him. But never in my mind I'm not like, oh, I'm going to get a whole TV show kind of centered around him. You know, like, right. I'm not really thinking that. But now that it's here, I'm like, it totally makes sense. Like, yeah. The whole rebellion story, like seeing someone who is just human, you know, no Jedi, no man. It's not, you know, whenever we watched The Mandalorian, we were like, finally, something where it's not a Jedi, where we have just kind of a person, you know, he has some weapon kits and stuff and some cool badass stuff, but, like, he's more of a human, you know? But then now, it's just, he's not force sensitive. He doesn't have, you know, Mandalorian armor. He's got his own wits to him, and that's
Rebel
it.
Spy,
you know?
Man. That's what's fucking electric about it, is that he's just got the spirit of everything we love about Star Wars. He has the rebellion spirit, whether he even realizes it or not yet. It emanates from him. But are you ready to throw a rating at this bad boy?
I am. Did you want to do character scene in line?
I think we could swing that.
You put Bix for your character, and
I stand by that.
Was Kravis or Kravis?
Brazos?
Maybe the friend that he went to talk to that was like, "Hey, I need you to cover for me."
Yeah, Brazos.
Okay. I think that's my character. For just that one scene. I don't know. I liked their back and forth. It was very apparent that, like, they've been friends for quite some time, and, like, I know nothing about that guy, but, like, I'm like, oh, they hang out, they drink, you know. He's like, oh, you insulted my choice of beverage, you know, like, just the way that he turned it on him, and he's like, all right, now you apologize to me. Actually, I accept your apology. You know, like, just all in his own words. I really liked his character. I think it's more fair to put Cassian, but, like, I don't want to just put Cassian for every episode. I feel like
and here's the thing: if we want to go ahead and tack on, like, what we're doing for our comic book movie project, favorite performance, my favorite performance would be Diego Luna as Cassian Andor. Like, that guy, that man's got this roll down. He plays the character so fucking perfectly, and I love it to death, but I was more focused on the new introductions this week, you know, like I already knew Cassian. I know what Cassian's like. Judging by these new characters I'm introduced to this episode, my favorite was Bix. I like Bix a lot. She was just a badass, and I can tell she's got the rebellion spirit too, but that's the thing. Same thing as Obi-Wan Kenobi. We know what characters can't die.
Oh, shit. No,
yeah, you got to be on the lookout, bruh.
No,
I'm saying I'm not ready for it. I don't expect it or nothing, but I'm on the lookout. I'm preparing myself emotionally to get heartbroken by these new characters that we know and love. I think that we will get an unexpected Imperial, not sympathizer, but, like, damn, you're putting things that I care about at risk. You're putting my life in risk. You're putting my family in risk. I need to tell them this is what's going on. That's kind of my fear with Brazos. I think he's just a working man who doesn't, He's not about the rebellion. He's not about the empire. I think he's just kind of like,
That is true. He did say
something,
like, get your boots back on and get back to work, man.
yeah. Like if it comes to it and something in Brasso's life is threatened, I don't think it'd be out of like spite or anything. It would be out of like sheer necessity. Like he felt like he needs to do it. And like, that's kind of what I'm preparing myself for, is that like we'll get some people who rat without realizing the implication. I think that there are still people who don't realize completely the evils of the Empire. Like we said, that like it's made clear in a bunch of Star Wars stuff that in certain sects of the galaxy, people hardly noticed a difference under the Empire, and that's usually the more wealthy parts of the galaxy. But still, Jim says it in.
After that realization, I changed my favorite character of the TV show from Brazos to B2 Emo.
Love B2.
Yeah, I put my favorite scene of the episode as Cassian and Brazos cover-up convo.
I like that. I like that.
So I'll give him the little nod there, but you're right. He's definitely going to, if he is anything in the future, he's going to be a friend for a bit, but he's going to be a problem, I'd say, to Cassian eventually.
I'd say so. I'd say so as well. If I had to go favorite scene, I would go the opening. I think the opening was too strong not to give it its love. The just reintroduction to this character into this underworld sort of vibe. He's in a brothel. It's just tailor made to be fun as fuck and a good fucking show. I think this was such a great way to kick it off, and I think I have to go with that.
Fair. I mean, it was probably the most emotional part of the episode. Like, whenever he's gunned to the guy's head and he's begging for his life, you see Cassian kind of going back and forth of, like, shit, do I have to kill this guy right now? Yeah, I do. Okay. Bow. Like, are you, like, from opening until that is... or just like in the brothel asking for his sister. I feel like it's fair.
It is kind of that whole thing. It is a couple different scenes, but that's my favorite part of the episode. But I will specify it to him in the alley. I think we get a real look at the complications that Cassian faces as a character, and it very quickly reacquainted me with the character overall. Like it was exactly what I was expecting, and still even more. Like it was just beautiful. But yeah, shit, man. What about you got any quotes?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of. The only ones that I'm remembering are like the conversation between him and Brasso. I wish we could have had like subtitles on what young Cassian and his sister were saying. Like it was just speaking, like there was there was nothing, no translation.
Yeah, no translation, and I think they were just kind of leaving it up to you to interpret body language. And I think that last conversation was kind of like "You wait here, I'll be back."
Oh yeah, you get the general idea. That's like, I just wish that it could, like, we could have, like, I don't know, if they had like a cute little thing they said to each other, something like that where it could come up later. Well, I guess maybe just like,
I think they're going for more of the like, I think they're going for more of a universal kind of relatability thing. Like it's like you can just feel what the sort of thing they're talking about is. You can tell that this isn't. I have a feeling that this is going to be close to the last time they see each other. If not the last time they see each other. Yeah. And I think it was kind of him being like, it'll be okay. I'll be back. We're good. And her being like, oh man, I want to go with you, but shit. All right. I guess I'll wait back. That shit hit, that was real strong stuff. And those would probably be my like second favorite scenes are those scenes. Like when they're getting all dolled up, ready to get out there.
Say my favorite line, if I had to choose, I'm just going to go with "You insulted my choice of beverage." Just that little thing. It's the only one I can really remember out of the episode. So I feel like it's
I'm gonna go with the conversation between B2 and Cassian, where he's like, "You're asking me to lie for you," and he's like, "Yep, I need you to say this and this," and he goes, "That's 2 lies."
Mm-hmm. I'll need to recharge back at home.
Yeah.
Interesting that it takes little interesting detail that it takes just more energy for a droid to lie. Is that like, you think that's legitimate, or do you think that was just his way of being like, I know you don't like to lie, so go ahead and go home,
I think it
recharge,
does legitimately take more power because, like, I think
They
a
have
droid
to-
is programmed to
yeah.
just spew information, you know? Like, it's like, oh shit, I can't tell them the thing that I want to tell them, have to tell them this. Oh, there it is. Okay, yeah. Like, I could see it. I think it takes more energy for a human to lie as well, you know?
Fair. Yeah.
Especially if you're not good at it. Like, if you're a bad liar, that shit's not good. That's not fun.
Yeah. Because I don't know, he did say like, just take your time, like, be slow on the way home. Don't tell anybody, you didn't see me, blah, blah, blah. Like, go. I didn't know if it was his way of being like, all right, go treat yourself to a full recharge and take your time, like, because you have to lie for me, or if it was legitimately like, no, this will take more energy, like, you need to go and recharge, but take your time or whatever. But yeah, no, that's I don't know. B2. I'm hoping he's gonna be in like multiple episodes, right? Like, I don't know.
Oh yeah, B2 will be back. That's
Okay.
Cassian's droid right now. You know, before K2SO came B2 Emo.
B2 Emo. I feel like there's just a better name for him. I don't know why. Like, I don't know why B2 just isn't. I feel like the emo part of his name is very. I don't know. I don't know why.
Maybe
I
they
feel
do
like
just call him Emo.
I feel like there's a whole, like, instead of saying B2 emo, there's like a shortened, not just B2, but an in between of B2 and B2 emo. Like, I don't know what it is though, but I don't know. The fans will figure it out, or it'll just be
B2.
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 No, okay. I'm gonna give up. I'll just let the fandom figure it out. They always do.
They're
And
on it.
it's probably just
figure it
B2.
out.
It's probably gonna be B2, but I'm okay with that. All right. I guess we got all that covered. Carrot,
Are we ready to?
both performances as Diego Luna. So I feel like that's fair. I added that performance tab. I feel like that's an important.
I think that's fair. I
think it is time.
Let's do it. So we're gonna do our classic rating system. Out of 10, we've got how much the episode connected with us. This is our enjoyment rating. This is completely subjective. However we're feeling about it. Out of 10, we go ahead and throw a rating at it. We got as it fulfills its genre, and this is Star Wars, and this is damn good Star Wars, so it's going to do pretty fucking well. And then we got the critical rating. This is where we take the completely objective stance as opposed to our subjective stance for our enjoyment rating, and we take a look at all the performances, the writing for the episode, the visuals for the episode, the score here, fucked, the direction, all of the above. So, and then we take the combination of those 3 ratings, the average of them, and it becomes our rating for the episode. So, we begin with enjoyment. How you feeling?
I mean, it's a premiere of Star Wars. So it's automatically going to be high. And, and I think it'll come up more in the more critical part of the rating. But I think they released these first 3 episodes. It was very... I feel like they knew that they needed to set up a lot, and that it wouldn't really be a full, complete story for the episode, even though I'm not disappointed in the story we got, It's just like, whenever I'm comparing it to like a complete story that we got within like House of Dragon or some other TV show, like that feels like more of a complete 1 week episode stand by itself sort of thing.
This actually feels a lot more like the Obi-Wan Kenobi premiere, where like it's really just a launching off point for the story. They're setting up everything we need to know for the series. Cassian's on the lookout for his sister. That's kind of the only launching off point. He's trying to go into hiding. He owes a lot of people money. We know that his tribe when he was younger back on Kenari. That's it.
That's gonna be tough. I'm just gonna write that down somewhere, just so I have
his
it.
tribe on Kenari is about to go scavenge something from a ship that fell out of the sky. Yeah, I mean, we got Bix, we got a lot of cards on the table, but yeah, I would say this isn't as complete a story for a singular episode of television as I would like. However, they did release it as a 3-episode premiere, so there is reason to believe that these 3 episodes end up lending themselves to a much more complete story, like an arc sort of thing, like they do with like the Clone Wars and they did with Rebels on occasion. I think that sort of thing can come to be expected from Star Wars shows.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I was never at one point in this episode like, all right, let's get a move on. Like there wasn't any of that, or there wasn't like, I need more. I'm thinking like floor is 8. Like that's
for enjoyment. Yeah,
it's either a 9 or a 10. I feel like
no, yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm frankly enjoyment wise for this premiere, it's a 10. I came into it excited as fuck. It lived up to my excitement. I'm fucking ready for the rest of this show. And when it comes to premieres of things I love, if they live up to what I was expecting, it's a 10 because I was real excited about this, and I'm still excited about it. I'm not like, ooh, that was a bad start, no, I'm fucking ready. So I'm chilling, and I'm in a good spot with this show. I go 10 out of 10 enjoyment for this first episode, and I can't wait for the coming ones. Genre wise, how are we feeling about this Star Wars sort of? They've described it as a spy thriller. I don't think we've reached that part yet.
That's kind of a cool category, spy thriller.
Yeah, it'll become much more spy thrillery, but
man, it's kind of ticking all the Star Wars boxes. I mean, yeah, we don't have lightsabers or big ship fights, whatever yet, but that's like, this is the first episode, and I don't, that's not what this show's really about, anyways. But I mean, as Star Wars goes, like the rebellion spirit is probably like, when you boil Star Wars down, that's what it's like really about. Not about the Jedi and about, all the cool flashy stuff. So, I mean, this was near perfect, if not perfect for the Star Wars show.
I think I just in the spirit of being a little more fair, when it was Obi-Wan Kenobi a few months back, we gave like every episode a 10 in the genre or 5 in the genre because we were still on the 5-point scale. I want to assess it a little more fairly outside of Star Wars genre. So what they've described the show as is a spy thriller, and I will say it did live up to that at the very beginning, for sure. I mean, he's trying to go on the run. He's trying to organize meetups so that he can get a few credits and boost the fuck off. I think,
I think we have so many characters that he already has some ties to in like either owing them money or the guy he borrowed the ship from. Bix now, like there's so many cool spy-esque.
Oh yeah, like
and
Pegla,
very
I think the guy who worked in the shipyard, Pegla.
Yeah.
That was a cool character.
So I mean, as far as like it's just they're setting up a lot of the suspense that will come and a lot of the thrill that I think will come. But the opening scene was like,
that was the perfect tone setter for what I expect from this series. So yeah, I go real high on it. Like I'm still 9 or 10. Like I'm not like, and probably not 10, probably more like 9. I think that
I think that's fair. Yeah,
I think that's probably fair.
Because I think you can only accomplish so much in like setting up a whole new set of characters and stuff that you need to do. Like they didn't really have a whole lot of time to focus on just story elements that they want to. It's like, no, we need to introduce you to all these people. Okay, he has some history with this person. He was taking his ships, blah blah blah. Okay, now with this guy,
the villainous side with Narc and.
So I mean,
and Cyril Karn from now on is Narc. If we say Narc, that is Cyril Karn. Just for you, for all the deputy inspector.
I don't even want to refer to him by his real name.
That
dude was like,
Narc.
oh yeah, did you make changes to your uniform? Oh yeah, slightly. I tailored it. Some custom tailoring. He's all about all about his job, dude. Like, yeah, Narc. That is, I'm very glad that we can refer to him as dark.
I
think 9 out of 10 is definitely fair for genre though.
All right, cool. And then critical rating. It's going to be pretty damn high. I don't think this is a perfect episode of television or anything, because I do think that the complete story week to week is important. Episode to episode is important, and I don't think we quite get that, but we're not far off from it. Like it made it very clear that this was a launching off point. Like it was not I don't think it was to be received as a full story here individually in the first episode.
Performance-wise, though,
fucking great,
fantastic. The whole world, like set design, like that's a thing that I think like I take for granted now with Star Wars, is all the set design and all the characters and costumes and alien species they have to come up with. Like when he walks in the brothel, the bartender lady, like just the look of her, and then you have whenever he's walking on the street and gets stopped by I don't know, just whenever he's walking through the street or when anyone's walking through the street, yeah, like you just see many different kinds
setup,
of people.
like with the workers, like so many different
gloves on the wall. Oh, that was sick.
The door that like slid open, like dude, that shit was gorgeous. I loved the way the show looked. It looked so Star Wars, and still maintains an originality. Again, I think the closest thing we can compare it to is Rogue One. Like that's the thing it felt the most like, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it, and I think it was damn good. I think I'm close to an 8 out of 10 for the critical.
Yeah, I was gonna say floor. The lowest I could go was like 7.5.
Yeah.
For it. I couldn't go like anywhere above like an 8.5 though, so I feel like 8 out of 10 is probably like where I was sitting too. So
beautiful,
yeah,
beautiful.
9 out of 10 for the average. Yeah, for a premiere, like that's
a great premiere.
That's about right. Yeah, like
it's a great premiere.
There's only so much they could accomplish with this. Like it was only 48 minutes or 42 minutes long.
I don't even think it was quite that long. I think it was like,
because the second episode's 38 minutes. Oh, true. Yeah, I was so. Oh no, that was just where I was. Yeah, so the episode ends at 35 minutes.
They got a lot in this 35 minutes.
That's actually way more impressive than I thought. Because like back on whenever you just look at it before you go into the episode and you're clicking on it and it just tells you the little in parentheses of how much it's worth. Like it was like 40, like 48 or something like that. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like this is a beefier episode for the first one, because the next one, including credits, is 38 for that one. Yeah, 42 for the first one.
Probably more like a 30-minute episode.
Yeah, and 43 for the third. So I feel like they're all 30 to 35 minute episodes, which is, it's like, I don't know, it was perfect.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was a great starting point, and a 9 out of 10 here for the Andor after party on episode 1, directed by I'm getting it pulled up and my phone's not loading. Directed by Toby Haynes and written by Tony Gilroy. And Tony Gilroy, a very well-established writer, as he also wrote Rogue One. Yay! I think we can expect plenty of great shit out of the show. With Tony Gilroy at the helm and different directors popping in and popping out. It'll be quite the enjoyment. And I'm ready to jump into episode 2. Are you fucking ready?
Oh, I'm ready. Yeah, I'm going right there. I'm turning on the TV and I'm getting it started like now. So
let's get it.
I'm ready.
It'll be perfect. All right then. With that, if you would, head to patreon.com/CoRoBloom, where you'll find over 40 hours of exclusive content. And I know that if you're here, you like Star Wars. I'm reviewing a bunch of Star Wars books. This Thursday, will be Star Wars Catalyst, a Rogue One novel, kind of in keeping with this the spirit of things here. Last week was Leia, Princess of Alderaan, Rebellion, founding sort of shit over there. I'm all Star Wars Rebellion era right now. Next week I'm gonna do Rebel Rising and Rogue One novelization. So everyone's ready for that. Go ahead and check that out. Head to Twitter, follow at PennyBloomPod, follow on Instagram at PennyBloomPodcast. Remember to just go ahead and click on episode 2. It'll be available before long, and you need to keep up with us for the Andor after party. That's the idea. I was Colton Robertson, joined by Joseph George. Thank you very much, homie.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure.
Oh, and it is always a pleasure to have you. And remember, peace, love, and bloom. And go check out episode 2 of Andor.